All right, guys, welcome back to Downtown Rams. As always, I'm Alexis Kraft, joined here with my co host, Jake Ellenbogen, and we are coming to you live tonight to preview our Week 2 matchup against the Tennessee Titans in Tennessee this upcoming Sunday. Jake, we're rolling into Week 2 with the W. That's always a nice feeling. We're going to be playing on the road this time against the Tennessee Titans down in Nashville. And it's a game that I originally was hoping to be at because I don't live crazy far from Nashville. But unfortunately, with my show schedule, I'm unable to make it. But I know a lot of Rams fans are going to be there. I've seen online. I know a lot of the community is going to show out, so that's great. And Jake, feeling good after the week 1 win and feeling pretty good going into week 2, but there's a lot of different things that we're going to break down this episode, previewing this matchup. But overall, how are you feeling?
Feeling good. I don't know if you guys realize this, but the Rams haven't been 2-0 to start a season since the Super Bowl year. I know that sounds crazy, but when you think about it, it's literally been that long. Of course, the Lions game last year, then they start off with Seattle, and then they lose to the 49ers in a close one. So they haven't, and then obviously the Bills in 2022. So they haven't actually been 2-0 since 2021. And before that, they were 2-0 every year under Sean McVay. So yeah, it's time to get back to, I think that's kind of what the narrative should be for the Rams. It's to get back to where they were. Because, we know obviously Sean McVay has these guys ready to play. At the end of the season, they've had to make end of the season runs the last 2 years to save face, and they've been one of the hottest teams. Well, imagine what they can do if they're able to get off to a good start and then still play that way at the end of the year. We're going to find out, but I'm liking their chances this week.
I am too. I do like their chances, going into this matchup week 2. And we're going to talk about why. I think we should start with the offense, because things on offense, I think in the first game did not go as hot, initially at least, as we wanted them to or as we expected them to. A lot of that I think had to do with the offensive line. And there's some injury updates there that we'll talk about. But Jake, or let's just start with the offensive line. Why not? Because I think that's going to be a big
It's
factor.
huge. Yeah.
This game. So do you have that injury report pulled up?
Yeah, so I don't have it pulled up right in front of me at this moment, but obviously I can pull that up. But what I will tell you is that you have Sweat. T'Vondre Sweat is not playing for the Titans, which I think is huge because he's a big body, a lot of mass in the trenches, and he's really good at stopping the run. Albeit, and I will give them credit, you have other guys there. Jihad Ward did a really nice job, in the trenches, and that's something I wanted to give him credit for because, you think of T'Vondre Sweat as the guy, but actually, Jihad Ward did a really nice job, as well as James Lynch, who I know just about everybody in this league. I've never heard of James Lynch before. He was a 4th rounder in 2020 by the Minnesota Vikings out of Baylor. I don't know if you remember him. I do not. So he and Jihad Ward had good games in the run game last week against the Broncos. Now, it's worth mentioning that this defense, they literally forced 6 turnovers if you count 2 turnover on downs against the Broncos in that high-powered offense with Sean Payton. On the offensive side, they're going to be without J.C. Latham, and that's huge. That is absolutely massive. Oli Udoh was horrific on tape at right tackle. Horrific. So I think Agent Zero, Byron Young, has a really good opportunity there. They also ruled out Kalel Mullings, the running back, and also their draft pick out of Penn State, Kevin Winston Jr. They're both doubtful, unlikely to play. But there have been guys that have been playing kind of banged up. I know Jarvis Brownlee Jr. got hurt, a little bit. He played through it. And then also L'Jarius Sneed, their prize free agent acquisition. He's also been playing banged up and on a snap count. So we'll see what we get out of that. But then on the Rams side, Colby Parkinson, doubtful, means he's not playing. They already basically said that. We could see more Terrence Ferguson. I'm hoping we do. And then in addition to that, you have Steve Avila, who, shocker, he's the one that returned, Alexis, in that game. Yeah. But he's out and, well, doubtful, but we know what that means. And then Kevin Dotson, who left the game and didn't return, is actually playing. So I found that really interesting. Rob Havenstein had a day off where, he was sore, basically a veteran rest day. And then Alec Jackson had a rest day today as well. So sounds like they're going to have 4 of the 5 offensive linemen. I would expect Bo Limmer to take over for Steve Avila at left guard. And for Limmer, absolutely fantastic run blocker, but he is a liability right now just in his career. He's a liability as a pass protector. I don't think he's as bad as people think, but he's a work in progress. So we're going to find out.
Yeah, so that offensive line, is going to be, I think, big for us, right? Going against Tennessee and, just looking at the offense and, what they want to do, Jake. We look at week 1, right? 14 points. It's not great. Granted, the Texans defense played fairly well. I think they played pretty well. So I want to give credit where credit is due as well. I mean, a lot of that you've got to give the Houston Texans credit. But I think, obviously Puka Nacua, great game from him. I mean, one of the best in the league. I don't know why people continue to sleep on Puka Nacua. I mean, just watch the tape, watch what he's able to do. Devontae Adams and Stafford, I think as the game went on, got more comfortable and more in sync. And then Kyren, there wasn't a lot in the run game against the Texans. Obviously that touchdown on 4th down, which we talked about last episode, crazy, was great. But, I think that this offense needs to show us going into this game that they are who we think they are. I think that, they looked a little bit rusty. And again, I think the offensive line had a lot to do with that in week 1. But I would like to see a more high-powered offense going into week 2 against this Titans defense. I'd like to see maybe a little bit more diversity in the run game. Maybe you get Corum involved a little bit more. I don't know if that will happen or not. I think that Kyren is still going to be getting at least 70% of the snaps. I mean, we've kind of talked about this throughout the offseason and in the first episode. We would like to see some more running backs used a little bit there as well. But Jake, what do you think the offensive game plan is going to be going against this Titans defense in lieu of the injuries that are happening?
Yeah, I think the offensive game plan is, they're going to try and establish the run early on. I think they want to get that going. That way it kind of sets you up. You can play the strategy game, and in the second half, then you have the play action passing attack. Maybe you can do some things. But I want to make this very clear. I think there are Rams fans that are overlooking this Titans defense, and I don't believe the Rams are going to do that. But I'm just, letting people know this Titans defense made Bo Nix look horrific. Okay, he was awful. They somehow won the game, but I was really impressed with what I saw. And Alexis, Denard Wilson, he comes from the St. Louis Rams. He was part of that coaching staff, and he's really developed. And I mentioned it in our last episode, but I think he's done a great job. This is his second year as a defensive coordinator. He was with the Mike McDonald defense over with the Ravens. And I think he's going to be up there, potentially be a head coach, just like Chris Shula. So you're going to get something there. I know, Sweat's out, but there are other guys that can contribute. This is a really good looking defense, and not just good looking on paper, but they show it on film. And, I think, you look at those linebackers, Cody Barton, and Cedric Gray, they can make plays in space. And that's the thing. When you have a Kyren Williams that, gets to the second level, he's got some power to his running style, but he's also slippery. Cedric Gray and Cody Barton, they're good at stopping those type of runs. And then, of course, Jeffrey Simmons, who could blow this game up. But I do believe that they are going to try and run the football early on, establish the run. And I think we're going to see some shot plays in this one, because it's nothing against the Titans, but with the Texans game, The Rams came into that, and I don't believe they're overlooking the Titans, but I think they knew what game they were going to get with the Texans. I think they knew that game was going to be really tight, even if it shouldn't have been. But, it was really tight. And so I don't feel like in those games you're going to just, basically try those shot plays. The name of the game last week, Alexis, the game plan was to take care of the football, and they did just that. This week, obviously, you're on the road. You want to take care of the football, but I would not be surprised if they throw a shot play to a Tutu Atwell. I would not be surprised, if they try something, with a Jordan Whittington, right? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they go that route. So we'll see what ends up happening, but yeah, that's kind of what I think. I think they're going to get it started with Kyron Williams in the run game.
Yeah, I think they're going to start out testing the waters there, seeing what they're able to do, seeing what works. But I would like to see some explosiveness in the passing game, as well to people other than just Puka Nacua. I would like to see some more Jordan Whittington. I'd like to see Tutu Atwell involved. So we'll see. I think there's a very good chance that this happens this game, Jake. But I think, regardless, I'd just like to see some more fluidity on offense that was not able to be found as much against the Texans. I think that might potentially be possible in the passing game with the Titans. And it's also wild that we've got Texans and Titans. I know I'm going to mix that up at some point in this episode. Did. Yeah, I know I will. But anyways, against the Titans, I would like to see that a little bit more. And then before we kind of, wrap up what we want to see out of the offense, I would like to see Terrence Ferguson, right? Our second round draft pick. Not sure, what the Rams game plan is specifically for him or not. You've got Tyler Higbee in there. Davis Allen had a touchdown week 1. So in the absence of Colby Parkinson, what are they going to do to kind of, fill that spot at tight end? That'll be really interesting to see. But I would like to see Ferguson out there at least a little bit. I think we all kind of want to see him in some regular season action sooner than later.
Yeah, no, I don't think this is the week where he goes off. So I wouldn't, go crazy about putting him in your, fantasy team, using him in your sleeper picks. We'll get to those. I wouldn't do that. Maybe a touchdown, but I wouldn't go crazier than that. But this will be his first opportunity in the offense. I do expect him to get reps. When you run 12 personnel about 40-something% of the time in your first game, and that's clearly the direction you're trying to go in, you only have 3 tight ends on this roster. So it's not like Davis Allen and Tyler Higbee are going to play every single snap in 12 personnel. So I do think we will see some Terrence Ferguson, who played about 5 snaps last week on special teams. And I think that it'll probably be the second half. And I think he'll probably, if I had to guess, he's probably going to have 2 catches for 40 yards or something like that. Something like that. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. But yeah, we'll take it. I mean, if 2 catches for 40 and 32 of them come on one play, don't be surprised. So I think they'll get him involved, and that'll be a good thing. I'm really, and I don't know why, but I'm really feeling like Jordan Whittington is going to step up big in this game. I don't know if it's the return game. I don't know what it is, but he just looks like he's got another level of explosiveness to him. Was one of the fastest timed ball carrier, plays of the year. Obviously, it's the first week, but that 74-yard return that gets called back, that was the 5th fastest time of the week. I mean, that's crazy. So I feel like the game plan, obviously they have it, but you go back, you watch the film, I think Sean McVay's going to be like, we got to find a way to get this guy involved. So I think 88 Problems is going to score a touchdown in this one. I'm going to say it right now. And I think he's going to have a really good game. So I'd look out for number 88. And then Tutu Atwell, who was barely utilized, number 5, he barely utilized. I wouldn't be surprised they get him going too. So this will be a game where I think if those things do happen, Alexis, they happen in the second half. The Rams are going to feel it out. They're going to be that boxer that kind of I see what he has. I see the arsenal. I see all of that. And then, the later rounds, you start to just attack because you know what you have and you know what they don't. I think that's what the Rams game will be. It'll be a lot of sizing up. And I do think the Rams will ultimately, do what they want to do in the second half. I do.
Well, I agree. I think, as we talked about, I think that they're gonna try to start run heavy and then maybe move more into the pass game a little bit. But looking at, so that's kind of the Rams' offensive game plan. Looking at the Rams' defensive game plan, Jake, you look at this Tennessee Titans offense, it's led by rookie quarterback Cam Ward, who I know we both liked a lot in the draft process.
I
You kind
like
of
him
look at
even
their
more.
Yeah, I mean, you look at their receiving room, they've got some newer faces. So you've got Tyler Lockett, who Rams fans are familiar with. We watched him for many, many years up in Seattle, and now he's down in Tennessee. You've got Calvin Ridley, and then you've got Ao Minor, right, out of Stanford. Ao Manor out of
Elick
Stanford.
Io Manor.
Eli Io Manor. I was not as familiar with him. I know that he was talked about a little bit in the draft process, but honestly, I'm not as familiar with him, and I did not see any of his tape from week one, so that'll be interesting. Then you look at the run game, you've got Tony Pollard in there, and then Mullings, who you mentioned earlier, is injured. So I think Julius Chestnut should be backing up Pollard, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Um,
and Tajay Spears being out has really hurt them too. So they don't really have a
yeah,
lot of running back depth. So
mm-mm,
God forbid
not
something
really.
happens to Pollard and they're in trouble.
Yeah, so I think Ward is going to be forced to really be heavy in the pass game, this game, against the Rams. And also, what doesn't help is his offensive line situation, which we touched on a little bit earlier, Jake, as well as how we think that Jared Verse and Byron Young could potentially have very big games. Their starting right tackle's out. He's already been ruled out. And then I don't love the rest of their offensive line. Um, so yeah, I mean, not setting the stage very well for Cam Ward, am I? It
It's
doesn't
not a
seem
good
like
stage,
it's
Alexis.
it's not,
It's
listen, we
shaky.
we both we both just talked about how we like Cam Ward, but dude, it's like not it's not looking good for him based on what he has in the field, both just I think talent wise and injury wise. And as you talked about last week and made a good point at the end of our week one episode, it's just very unfair that Cam Ward is having to go from the Broncos to the Rams in back-to-back weeks
It's
to start off his
brutal.
rookie career.
And then he's got the
It's
Colts
baptism by
next week.
fire.
He's got the yeah, that's exactly what it is. He's got the Colts next week, and then he has the Texans week 4. So
Yeah,
he's just
not
facing
fair.
some of the best defenses in football right away. It's going to only make him better. So,
Yeah.
but in this one, we mentioned, JC Latham's out. So
Mhm.
Oli Udo is there. Turn on the tape. That's all I'm going to say. Right tackle, Titans, turn on the tape. Broncos could do whatever they wanted. I don't like Dan Moore at all. I mean, not personally. I don't know him. But as a player,
Yeah.
like I watched a ton of him on
Went
the
to Arkansas,
Steelers.
right? And he also went to Arkansas, right? I'm thinking of
I think it was a Texas A&M? Texas.
huh?
Yeah, Texas
I'm
A&M.
thinking got it.
Yeah, so
Never
Dan
mind.
Moore got paid. He got paid because, well, you ever have a lot of money and, you just want something and you just decide to spend a lot of money on it for like no reason, even though you could get something that was probably better if you like waited. You're just like, screw it. I have a lot of money. I'm just feeling it was kind of careless spending by the Titans. Titans had a lot of cap space. They had a need at left tackle. And they're just like, yeah, Dan Moore. Like they just gave him a ton of money because they didn't want to wait for Alec Jackson, which he didn't end up being a free agent anyway. And they didn't want to wait for Rodney Stanley. So when those guys signed, they're like, oh, Dan Moore. So yeah, Dan Moore gave up over 40 pressures last year and 10 plus sacks with the Steelers. That first game was not good against the Broncos. Not at all, right? Nick Bonito destroyed these guys. It's Nick Bonito, but you have Jared Verse, you have
Yeah.
Byron Young, right? Josiah Stewart. Like, I think Josiah Stewart could get involved in this one. I want to give some credit to their offensive line here. I know it sounds like I'm just ripping them to shreds. Their interior's really good. Peter Skoronski, who I know you remember,
Yeah.
Peter Skoronski is him. He's legit. He's actually really fun to watch. Their left guard. He's really good. And then Lloyd Cushenberry, who I've liked for a long time, he's their center, didn't have his best game last week. He's also coming back from an Achilles tear last year. So, it's going to take him some time, but he's a good player. And then Kevin Zeitler, I said it now on 3 different shows, the Lions wish they didn't let him go. He's a very good player. So their interior is really good. That makes them tough, but when you have the Rams defense line that they have, I'm not really worried, And then you have the tackles. See, this is how I want to word it. When you have a dominant defensive front, these guys, if you have a really good offensive line you're going up against, that's not really an issue for you. That's just them evening the playing field. When you have a bad tackle group, now you can't even compete with me. That's how it is. So, there's really no excuse. Byron Young and Jared Verse should absolutely eat in this game. Mm-hmm. Point blank, period. Yeah. I mean, it shouldn't even be close. And Cam Ward is going to have to run for his life.
Yeah, I'm on the same page. I mean, just looking on paper, knowing what we know about, the state of their offense, the state of our defense, there's really no excuse in my mind either for why our pass rush can't be successful in this game. I think it's going to be really hard for a rookie quarterback to overcome that. I mean, Verse and Young are no joke. And, you look at their tackle situation, it just does not look good for Tennessee at all. So I do expect that the Rams are going to have a very successful day on defense. My assumption is that you're going to see a lot of quick passes from Cam Ward. I don't think that, or he's going to have to get a little bit mobile, right? I mean, we just talked about their running back situation. I don't know that he has much choice in the matter if you look at the Rams defense and what the game plan should be. So I think they're just going to try to get a lot of quick passes off, or try to get Cam Ward running out of the pocket. And I feel for the guy. I do. But you know what? That's the way it goes, right? It's week 2 for a rookie quarterback is never going to be a walk in the park. I think especially looking at what he's going to have to deal with the Rams, not so much.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy, but I will say with him, he made some really good throws against the Broncos, and honestly, he had a lot of drops. He had 2 from Calvin Ridley, had 1 from Elic Iomanner. That's a tough name. Elic Iomanner. He had 3 drops from those guys, and then Tyler Lockett played a lot of snaps. He had 1 target. I think the thing with Cam Ward is that he only, I don't think he wants to be the guy to have to rely on the rookie, kind of the leashes, if you will. Okay, dump it off to the running back, hit your tight end. He's trying to play quarterback at a big boy level, right? The problem is, Tony Pollard had a 29-yard reception, and they didn't really go back to Tony Pollard in the receiving game. And the reason why I bring that a problem is it's not me saying as a football fan, oh yeah, Cam Ward, he needs to do this. I'm actually bringing it up because I think he's going to do this. This was his first game. He got his feet wet, and they can go back to the tape and be like, oh, yeah, that worked. We should do that again. And so the Rams are going to have to defend Tony Pollard. And that gets you into kind of no man's land. Is that Landman? No pun intended. Is that Landman? Is that Omar Spates? Is that Quentin Lake, right? Tony Pollard, we can all agree, he's a great route runner. He's a good pass protector, although last week was not great. It's just, I feel that just needs to be said. Look out for Tony Pollard. I think he's kind of the key to this game because I don't know if you remember, it's 2019. He sliced and diced the Rams in that Cowboys game. He was an absolute terror. Tony Pollard has given the Rams fits in the past. I definitely wouldn't rule him out from doing it this time because it's not really about stopping the run. It's actually the receiving game. And where I was expecting the Texans to implement it a little bit more with Woody Marks, they actually didn't. And I think people will look at the receiving game and be like, well, they got to Dare Ogunbowale and the Rams forced a fumble. Absolutely. But if done correctly, Tony Pollard is one of the better receiving backs in the NFL and can be a problem. So I am really curious to see how Cam Ward goes about this. They got guys that can make plays after the catch, Chig Okonkwo, Calvin Ridley. So, we'll see what ends up happening, but I think Tony Pollard is key in this game.
Well, Jake, for our next segment where we make predictions with the help of a sponsor,
yes,
maybe I'm predicting that you are going to get Pollard involved in that. Maybe? Spoiler? No, I tried to make that segue smooth. Do you guys think I did a good job?
Maybe.
Of that?
Well, we're not doing anything smooth because I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to bring this technological thing here. As you can see, don't mind the phone being off. I got to turn it on real quick. See what I mean? By the way,
one of those days.
It just is one of those days. But today's sponsor, of course, is Sleeper. And as you can now see here, we turned the phone on. How about that? Power is on. Shut off on me. I don't know what was going on there. So yeah, we got the Sleeper stuff right here. And you mentioned it. Tony Pollard, huh? Where is his receiving?
I just, my gut, I was like, he's going to go for it. Because I was hearing Tony Pollard.
Oh
I was
my
hearing receiving
God.
yards.
Give me 16 and a half, more than that. Absolutely. He hit 29 last week on one catch. So, yeah, he's legit. I'm actually going to say Kyron has more than 10 and a half. I know that's kind of a weird one to go with because you can't just use Kyron for everything. But I like this number a lot. Yeah, I definitely think Devontae Adams has more than 58 and a half. Ridley had a bad game, like in the 20-yard range. I'm going to say he has more than 55 and a half. And then, let's see. Well, what's hot? Let's see. We got here.
Yeah, let's see. What's everyone doing?
I don't see Whittington touch. Well, I see Jarquez Hunter, who wasn't even active last week. I guess we'll find out if he's active, but give me Jordan Whittington here.
I think he will be.
Looks like I didn't mean to do that, but looks like he's got an anytime touchdown. Yeah, I'm definitely going to hit that. Parkinson's out, so he shouldn't be there. But yeah, you have anything you want to add here?
I'll be honest. I'm not wearing my glasses.
Oh, yeah, I don't blame you. That's a small screen.
I was listening to you read out stuff, and I was just trusting that it was correct. That's what you were clicking. I mean, you already did a Kyron prop, so you can't. I don't think you can do another one. Let's see. You know what's you got any like?
I just got the midnight. I don't know if you noticed it. I got the midnight jersey. So in honor of the midnight verse, I had to go with a verse there.
I ordered a midnight jersey. It has not come in yet. And I needed to admit that live on here because I know that I was very critical of it on social media when the jersey dropped. And I just want everyone to know I did buy one because I am going to that game at SoFi November 16th. And I was like, listen, if I'm going perfect. I was like, if I'm going to the game, I have to be wearing the jersey, right? Like I can't. I mean, I guess you could. You don't have to wear it, but I want to fit in, okay? I just want to be like everybody else.
That's actually kind of cool because it's like a tour shirt for like a band. Like you were there. You know what I mean? Like I can't say that. I won't be there. I'm leaving the week before.
In the comments, somebody asked which player jersey I got. You guys guess.
Gee, I don't know.
What jersey would Alexis have gotten?
I mean, to be fair, I did just get a Kyron jersey, so
there you go.
I have two. I have the white one, the modern throwback, and I have the blue.
Aiden, you are correct. I did get a Kyron Williams rivalry jersey because I had to.
You just had to. Yeah.
I needed it. Well, like you said, it kind of feels like a collectible in a way.
It really is.
I gotta get Kyron, you know?
Oh, yeah. And then Puka, what are we doing here? Gotta hit that. All right. So here's the deal, y'all. If you like this, you can put this in $10. This all hits, which, by the way, I think this is pretty realistic. I mean, Whittington, the touchdown, he should have had a touchdown. Like, I mean, he didn't score, but you can tell if they used him, he could have had a touchdown. So, yeah, if everything here happens, Pollard receiving yards, Kyron receiving yards, Adams, Whittington scores, Calvin Ridley receiving yards, Nakua, Jared Verse with the sack, then you could win almost $2,000 on $10. And if you sign up using the code JKB, you'll get a match up to $100 on your first deposit. So the code is in the description below. Again, it's sleeper.com/promo/JKB. Terms and conditions do apply, but be sure to check it out. And by putting in JKB, you let them know that, we sent you. So do that for us. Appreciate y'all. And now,
back to our predictions.
Also,
for everybody, there's some comments saying that I was going to get the Stetson Bennett rivalry jersey. That is not an option to buy with U.S. currency. So,
jeez, talk about nuking on that person's life.
I'm just saying that, like, you can't buy it.
No, I know. That's just not an option in U.S. currency.
I think that they know that. But unfortunately, like, I was surprised that there wasn't, I'm sure most of you have seen the jersey options by now, but there wasn't like a ton of options player wise. Like, they didn't have, I think they had
I tried to get
players.
A Kello. They didn't have it.
Yeah, they only have,
I mean, I did
5 or 6 maybe.
I did the limited because I wanted the stitching. But it's funny, as cool as that looks, and I will be alternating it because I know there's probably some Yankee fans in here, and for my Yankee show, I'm not going to just keep Judge hidden. But I will say the thing that I'm most excited about is the black helmet that I have coming in. That'll go on the other side. It's going to knock Mando off the display. Mando will be somewhere, but I don't know. Don't look at me. I don't know what else I had to say after that. There was a dead silence, so I was like,
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought you were going somewhere with your sentence.
No, I literally was just
perfect. On that
finding somewhere.
Note, okay, on that note, Jake, do you want to get into our 3 bold predictions?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's let it rip.
First?
Ladies
I'll let you
first.
have the choice. Okay, all right. All right. So
you did not seem happy about that.
What? I don't like going first. It feels ominous.
I could go first if you want me to.
No, now I have to do it because you said
there we go.
First. But I will say I'm going to kind of cheat a little bit. Oh, I don't know if it's cheating, but I'm going to take my same prediction that I did last week with the 4 sacks. Because here's the thing. I messed up, and I'm going to take accountability for this. So I predicted 4 sacks in the week 1 episode. And then on our recap episode, I was like, I hit my prediction, but I didn't. They only got 3. We were wrong.
So I thought
I said 4. I said that the Rams defense would get at least 4 sacks against the Texans, and they did not get it. But I thought that they got 4. So
okay.
I'm gonna like put it back into the universe. I'm gonna manifest it. I'm gonna use that as my first bold prediction for this week because I need it to be right now. I need to correct that wrong that I made, and I'm sorry that I lied about it by accident.
You didn't lie. I mean,
it was an accident. But I'm gonna use that again because, like we talked about earlier, I just think this Titans offensive line is just not it, and I think that those tackles are gonna give Cam Ward a really bad time, and I think that Verse and Young are going to feast, as we talked about, and I know that that's kind of a popular opinion, so I'm going to say that for my number 1 bold prediction. For number 2, I'll do that offensively. I'm going Tutu Atwell touchdown. He wasn't really utilized in week 1, but I just think that we're going to see some deep plays to him this game. He's going to get involved, and I think it's going to be productive. So I'm going to say Tutu Atwell touchdown. Third bold prediction. I really want to do a special teams one, but I can't start the season off acting up like that. I can't say blocked punt this early on. I haven't earned it yet, right? So let's say, all right, let's do another defensive one. I'm gonna say Kobe Turner has 2 sacks of the 4+, because I feel like he was a little quiet in week 1 in an unusual way. So I think he's gonna bounce back this week, and we're gonna see some action from Kobe Turner.
Okay. I'm going to go. Obviously, I already said Jordan Whittington was going to score a touchdown. I don't think I should put that in here, but let's go with 44 in the back, wearing 4. I think he's going to pick off Cam Ward. Akella Witherspoon. He has the most PBUs, I think, what was it, the last 4 or 5 games? So, there you go. So he'll have an interception. And then I'm going to go with I'm going to go with Byron Young. This is a combined thing. So the Rams will have 6 sacks matching what the Broncos had on Cam Ward. Byron Young will have half of them.
That is bold.
Yes.
And I thought I was going crazy with the Kobe Turner.
Can you imagine that? It's like everyone's talking about Jared Verse and Byron Young's coming into week 3 against the Eagles, and he's got 4 sacks already. That'd be nuts.
Yeah, I mean, hey, he had a good week 1. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised by it. Someone in the comments said punt return. I can't do a special teams bold prediction like that this early on in the season. It feels like then it's too early, and then I'm gonna overshoot it. You know what I mean? Like I have to save the crazy shit for later on. You gotta feel it, you know? Like when I woke up and I was like, I'm gonna say there's gonna be a block punt. This is Jake's favorite story to bring up. Because
it makes no sense.
I know, but like
why did I think that? Why?
I don't know.
I just woke up and I was like, there's gonna be a block punt. Michael Hoyt, I remember it like it was yesterday. This is so bizarre. You should find the clip of you giving that prediction, and you should like pin it on your social media. Oh, we have it somewhere. That I turned it into a, you know me. I turned it into a short years ago. Yeah. I think it was like 2 years ago. I still remember Mark Sanchez not being able to talk during it. Like I think we had a block Kemp, he just said gibberish, and it was the funniest thing ever. And then the guy's like calmly comes in, and he's like, we have a blocked punt. It's like, all right, whatever you just said, that's not even English. No, I remember that like it was yesterday. All right, so here's the JE tuition, right? Because I said there'd be a block punt, and there was 2 years ago, so we're going to count that. And clearly now JE intuition is a thing. So let's say we already have 6 sacks and Byron Young being half of them. We have a Jordan Whittington touchdown, but not with this segment. Just in general, I feel like he's going to score. I don't feel like that's bold enough. We have an Akella Witherspoon interception. I don't feel like we have enough for the offense. So I'm going to say we are going to get give me 150 plus. Well, it's not even a bold prediction. All right, I'm just gonna say Whittington goes for 80 plus yards and the touchdown. Solid. I was gonna say something about Puka Nacua, but like the only way that's bold is if you're like, yeah, I think he's gonna go for 250 yards. Well, you were about to say 150, and I thought you were about to say Nacua. I was like, dude, like, is that bold at this point? That's like basically what you should expect with him. Like he's the best receiver in the NFL right now. So I don't know. Yeah. Hey, I would love to see Jordan Whittington have a big game. 88 problems, baby. 88 problems, but a touchdown won't be one, hopefully. Ew, no. No, I don't like that. I don't know. I didn't like that as soon as it came out. I don't know why I called him 88 problems the first time. Like I don't know. I thought it stuck. I even put it in the thumbnail for my video on Jordan Whittington. I don't know. So we have our bold predictions out there.
Yep.
What's your score prediction for the game?
My score prediction for this game is that the Rams win 24-10.
Okay.
Which
Kinda
I think
similar.
is a very fair. Yeah, I think it's a very fair score prediction.
Yeah.
Guys, I know it was cringe.
I mean, you'll
know
live
it
it
was
down.
cringe.
It's all good.
Will I though?
I
I'm
didn't.
sure
It didn't move
everyone's
me
gonna-
1 millimeter. You're good.
Yeah. I was. You know what? Let me workshop it, and then when we do the recap episode, I'll be like Jordan winning win.
I feel like
No, don't
this
like that
just this Whittingham thing. This is definitely Alex reading the comment section and knowing how people spell his name. Just like Matthew Sanford, Karen Williams. we need Kyra needs to like get the haircut at this point with the way he's always called Karen, and then McVeigh. Everyone spells it like Slay. You already know what I'm talking about.
Could you imagine Kyron shows up, like, you know when they do the fit walks before the games?
Yeah,
If he had on the Karen wig,
he should.
just for fun. He
Just
should do
one
it.
time, you know.
Yeah.
If Kyron, you're watching
That'd be
this, I'm sure Alexis wants to say a lot more than just this, but yeah, put on the Karen wig.
Yeah. Just do it, you know, take back the narrative, you know, for everyone making the typos.
Yeah.
But
No,
I'll think
that's
of-
hilarious.
yeah, I think I'll do a better bit next week with the Whittington. Thank you, Matthew.
Thank you, Matthew. So he's calling you a
I'm-
chicken.
I know, but I don't know what that comment was in reference to.
I know.
Forgetting. Listen, I'm not denying that I'm a chicken about something, but I need to know the context. Of
I
what
think it was the bold prediction that you weren't going to do that you decided to do.
Oh, got it.
Oh no, it was I'm not going to do a special teams prediction. That I think that's what it was.
Oh, yeah.
It happens. See, this is why I love the audience. Look at this. This is exactly what I'm talking about. You spell it like it's a damn sleigh. It's oh god, it's hilarious.
Listen, do I not drop bars every week?
I will
Don't like
I
that
will
either.
tell you right now.
Yeah,
You have 24-10. I got 23-13. I just don't I know people are going to be chomping at the bit for the Rams to be this offense that scores 30 plus, and I told you they would, but I don't feel like they're going to do it in this game. I think they just want to get out with a win, go back, prepare, and get ready for business against Philadelphia. That's what I think. So, could be wrong. Like, they could freaking drop 40 for all I know. But I'm going to be on the safe side here. I think it's 23-13, and I think they're going to be in control of this game, the majority of it. And if it is a blowout, I don't know if the offense is going to be the reason. I think it's going to be Cam Ward absolutely just ran into a brick wall. And there's a chance he's going to do that. This defense has been so damn dominant, man. It's crazy. It truly is. Will the defense keep up their dominance in Nashville was the title. And honestly, I think so. I honestly didn't know if I wanted to give 13 points to the Titans. I mean, they kept CJ Stroud outside the 15. Like they've been insane. So I think they're going to continue that, but we'll see how they manage Tony Pollard. A lot better. I think a much better running back than Nick Chubb in 2025. Nick Chubb maybe 3 years ago. Now we're talking a completely different game, but we'll see. I mean, if Joe Mixon played, how different do you think that Texans game goes? Like a fully healthy Joe Mixon. I think it's a little different, to be fair. So we'll see, but it's a good test. Any final thoughts before we wrap this thing up?
No final thoughts, other than, someone in the comments said, we'll show enough to win and that's all that matters. I agree. And what matters is the win.
Yeah. And Deuce, Falco, appreciate the 20.
Thank
I
you.
repeat, if Nate Landman shows up again, I'm getting a Landman jersey.
That is a very
I'm waiting for the
awesome
contract extension
idea.
because he's already
That's
one
also
of my
fair.
favorite players, and I've only watched him for one game. Didn't even watch him
Yeah.
in preseason. They were just like, nope, he's our starter. That's how you know. Yeah,
You know.
Nolan, we might have to bring back the mob squad at this point.
The Mob Squad makes sense based on some of the other players' nicknames,
Mm-hmm.
like Kingpin and everything.
Yeah.
But I just feel like you gotta it belongs to that group. That's my Mob Squad with the Aaron Donald and the Brockers
That's
and the Chris
fair.
Long. Like that feels unless it turns into like a situation, with Seattle where they've always got the Legion of Boom, right?
Yeah, I
They
mean,
just keep the same name,
I'd
but I
say
don't know.
Los Angeles, but I feel like we've already gone through that. Like people have already
Did
said that.
we?
Yeah, people were saying that when they got Nickel Roby Coleman and Peters and Talib, and then they were saying it when they had Jalen Ramsey and Darius Williams. Like, yeah, they've been saying Los Angeles for a minute now.
Grateful one, you're right. But give me some time. I want to put some effort into this. I'll think of something.
Yeah, the brick wall. No.
No, it's gotta be a play, I think, on like the Rams or Los Angeles. We'll workshop it.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
You just kind of sparked something in my head because I'm a big Spider-Man fan. And you mentioned Kingpin. And of course, I don't know if I was the first for the nickname, like, because I'd never heard him called that. I just said it right when he was drafted, and then it stuck. And then a lot of Rams fans went around with it. But, and now he calls himself that. But I feel like we got to do a play on Kingpin, like the Sinister Six type vibe. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, you've got Kingpin, you've got Agent Zero,
mm-hmm.
V8.
You got V8.
Like it is giving very James Bond-esque, right? You've got Kingpin, you've got Agent Zero, you've got V8, like the car, right?
Yeah. You got the conductor.
The symphony. It is giving very like British spy film vibes.
It is.
So you'd have to like think of something, guys, of like something in that.
So who would be
orbit.
the Sinister Six, right? Because you would have Kingpin, you would have Conductor, V8, Agent Zero. That's only 4. Puna Matata.
Is that his nickname?
I don't know. That's 5. And then
okay, 5.
And then
well, you could put Josiah Stewart.
So is that just is that the defensive front, or are we? I think the Sinister Six is fire.
I think the Sinister Six is a defensive front.
Okay, because I like it.
The core, core 4. That's what I would call the core 4.
Everyone uses core 4 though.
Okay, well, whatever. The core 4 of the Sinister Six, would be Braden Fisk, Kobe Turner, Jared Verse, Byron Young.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Tyler the Destroyer Davis. Oh yeah, Ty Davis. Honestly, I don't know. Wasn't it? What was the original?
I'm telling you, I'm feeling British spy film vibes. I can't shake it now. The 4 names.
It is interesting, isn't it?
Is so V8, Agent Zero, Kingpin, and the Conductor. Like, sorry, I'm thinking of a spy movie.
So technically, we could go with the Sinister 7. And here's why. Because it actually is a thing. And I was wondering, I was like, you know what? I feel like I've heard of the Sinister 7 before. So the Sinister 7 was apparently, is it the new Sinister 6? I don't remember. But I kind of like the Sinister 6. It sounds better. Honestly, all right, this is what we're going to do. So we got the Sinister 6, Verse, Fisk, Byron Young, Kobe Turner, right? Puna Ford. Mm-hmm. These are all starters, correct? So the guy in the middle, Nate Landman, that's your Sinister 6.
But that would be 7.
No. Wait, did I
just named 6 people?
Wait, hold on. There's no way I named 6 people just now.
Did you not just name
No,
Jared
Verse, Fisk, Byron Young, Puna Ford. Verse, Fisk, Byron Young, Puna Ford. Kobe Turner.
Byron Young.
Landman, 6.
Chad, is that right? I could have sworn that we were at 6. Yeah.
The math ain't mathin'. All right.
Okay, but last time, and then we're gonna
Verse.
let everybody. Yep.
Fisk.
Mm-hmm.
Byron Young. Puna Ford. Kobe Turner. Nate Landman. Sinister. 6.
All right.
I don't know.
And then when more people get involved.
Well, now I feel bad we're leaving Omar out.
Then maybe we don't use a number. Just call it, the Sinister Squad.
No.
No? So that kind of takes the juice out of it.
Yeah.
Right, call it the Sinister Front.
No, the Sinister 6. Because I think people like when things relate back to something that they care about.
All right.
Well,
we'll let everyone let that marinate, guys. See how you feel about it.
Yeah.
Feel free to give us feedback. I know I was off my pun game tonight. I'm not proud of it. I'll try to step it up next time. Think of a better name for Jordan Whittington.
Just Death Row? What the hell? That's so... Sinister 6 flows better. Yeah, I agree.
Well, guys, we are going to be watching the Sinister 6.
Ooh, the Hateful 8.
I mean, that gives more opportunities.
Yeah. Grateful
One, great response. He said, "It's okay, Alexis. You'll craft another one." But
oh my God.
Perfect.
The Hateful 8. Ocean's 11. There we go. This is the whole freaking... No, because
Pacific Ocean's 11. Because of... Never mind.
No,
just erase it from your memory.
But yeah, 7 Depths of Hell. All right. Well, now we got the chat cooking. So now we know what people can put in the comment section. Create a nickname for this defense. It can be the defensive front. It can be the secondary. Create a nickname for this defense.
Yep, that's your homework,
that's all
guys. I got. Comment, create a nickname for this defense. We'll bring it up next episode. But until then, as always, if you like what you hear, please like and subscribe. You can follow us on social media at Downtown Rams. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheAlexisCraft. You can follow Jake at JKBogan. And guys, we will be back next Tuesday night with a game recap episode. But until then, as always, stay safe, take care, and go Rams.